G'day punters, welcome to the mailbag. Group 1 racing from Caulfield once more. We've got the Rupert Clarke Stakes as a Group 2. There's lots of Group 3s. Fascinating behaviour that the Group 2's 1,000 guineas for the fillies and the Group 3's for the colts and geldings, but never mind.
Breeders.
Before we get into anything, Dicko, you've got a special announcement.
And firstly, that guy's that is Shane Shirley, the man you saw on racing.com on Tuesday or Wednesday, because it looks like a very, very different human being. I actually prefer this look, but Lise, shout out to Lise who threw you under the bus with a big ring light. I love her work. She's going to probably be a bigger part of the mailbag in the near future. But it's young Simo turns 21 today. Nick Vaz has pounded me with the request to give him a shout out. He's a big, tall, thick boy, Simo. He comes up to us at the races and asks for a few bets. He's a good young man with a thirst for the punt. Keep watching, and if your mates are any good to you, they'll head to the mailbag.com.au and they'll get you the Guineas. Nick, Vaz, if you guys want to get together and buy him, say, a month, I'll give you another month on me for his birthday, for his 21st. You do you, and we're going to have merch up and about.
Hopefully next week, early
Monday?
next week. Yeah, I reckon Monday it should be live. We can sort it out by Monday.
Do the right thing, guys. Do the right thing.
Imagine that, though. How good would it be to wish Simo happy birthday back on course? Get vaccinated. We'll be back on course in the next month or so.
I know who he is. He's a big, tall lad with a big mullet, I think. And I reckon, do you remember the day that you backed fucking Luna Flair to win the 1,000 Guineas, the Australian Guineas or whatever?
Up in the cruise ship.
Those piss lads to the right of us? That was them. I think that was them.
Good on you, boys.
Anyway, you fucking love them, Curls. You get real distracted. It's hard. Yeah. How'd you go on racing.com? How you happy with how you went?
Yeah, it was all pretty good. It was recorded a couple of months ago, like literally 6 weeks or so ago. So a little bit of change and a little bit more had transpired, I suppose, in the wagering landscape and things like that. So I had a few cracks at a couple of things that got edited out, which was nice. So it actually, I thought they'd done a good job in making us look reasonably intelligent.
And if Shane's a little bit slow today, he's dealing with a severe knee injury, like severe. How are you feeling with that?
It's it's my knee's blown up like massively. I'm a little bit disappointed actually because I had a few big plans for next footy season, so just on hold at the moment. I have been going to the gym. I've been to the gym every day this week. Yeah,
but say you played 15 years of football. Say you played 10. I reckon the over/under on pre-seasons is 2.5.
Done a couple.
Yeah, sort of. It's not a big. You're not missing anything. You don't train. You don't win premierships in January.
No, well, I've never seen a premiership medal handed out at pre-season. So
exactly. I always said that. 100%.
Anyway, we're going okay. It's good. We've got a good light weekend to help me recover. Not too much racing on, which is nice. So just building up to next week.
I'm just drowning in cliches at the moment, but I love it. It's great. It's wonderful. All right, we've got a few other little bits and pieces to touch on. Obviously, we've got the Everest Caulfield Cup Day stream coming up, but we're just slowly getting into gear for that, aren't we? Group 1 racing's back. The whole team's winning. It's bloody good.
There's an enormous amount of entries already. I think we're north of 20k and 200 people already in the club. We've got like a month and a half to go or a month to go. We've got Appy Hour hopefully tonight with myself, Curls, just threw that on you now, and Scurry from 7 till 8 tonight. We'll just be hanging around on our phones, answer any questions for anyone who's a subscriber to any product and you're on the app. We'll be around. And what else have we got to talk about, Pistol?
Just besides you guys are winning. I think that was the only thing you wanted me to touch on, but you wanted me to do it a little bit less or more seamless than that. But
no, I want to make a point of like that we are winning. We're all winning. How many units did you spend yesterday, Peter?
Was it
6?
How many did you get back, Peter?
Was it
north of 15?
So I can't remember now.
And
yesterday was just another day.
Silly enough to not double or triple press.
Sorry,
the last.
You were three out, 11 back or something.
Yeah, 11 and a half.
What did you do yesterday?
I did Quietish day, 4.2 out, 8.4 back, so had a double.
We made a tiny little profit there at Bendigo, but it's just another day of winning. We are 8 straight months of winning in Victoria. We're all winning. We count every bet. stop losing, start winning, and head to the mailbag.com.au. It's betting season. Let us help you. Everywhere, all over Australia.
Australia. Speaking of betting season, the Group 1 Rupert Clarke Stakes. 1400, handicap, deep race, Dickens, deep race. Favourite is Bo Rosser at the moment at 480. You've got Probabile at 550. Behemoth, $6. I'm Thunderstruck, which is First Emergency at 850. And there's plenty of other horses that you could make case for in double figures. Where are you starting with here? What's the starting point?
I'll attempt a speed map, and don't jump down my throat if I get it wrong or I offend you here, because it's chaos. Not you guys, I'm talking to the viewer.
Okay.
Streets of Avalon, Buffalo River, I think go forward. Groundswell could. Dice Roll should. Behemoth and Bo Rosser from barriers 1 and 3 get great runs.
Yep.
Probabile from 2 there or thereabouts. Then it gets real messy. Now, Regards Marie, blessed last week. Now it's drawn 11, tricky. ASAR cast out of 13. Dallasone cast 16. Amish Boy 15 cast. They have to go back and they're going to be wide. I'm Thunderstruck 17. It will be last in run. Sierra Sue, barrier 10, probably going to be 3 wide or well back 2 wide. An Irish Flame. Sam's a doubt, Pete. I wasn't sure where to put it.
Yeah, that's a nasty.
I've got it worse at midfield.
Yeah, it's a nasty draw for it. It doesn't really have too much gate speed. And it's a big horse, so there would have to be
And this is the 1400-metre shoot at Caulfield, which is like the trickiest shoot at Caulfield. So they jump and they turn, and you need to sort of... You can't even jump and show intent and then make a decision. You kind of made the decision before you jump.
Yep. So ideally for Samizdat, Irish Flame, sort of same speed away. It can just sit on the outside of it. Because I think if it's buried back on the fence towards the tail, it'll probably be a nice flashing run home for 7th or something.
Who wants to kick off here? Because it's chaos, and I will not be betting.
I'll kick off. Because I would have looked at this. I would have looked at this with absolutely less depth than anyone, because this is a very simple race. There is only 3 chances, and those 3 chances have the best maps. Forget the rest. Behemoth, Probabile, and Bo Rosser, one of them will win. Whoever gets the right luck wins. If Bo Rosser gets the right run, it just wins. It'll outsprint them at the end. Probabile and Behemoth will be grinding their way to the line and holding their ground, and extremely tough to get past. I think this Bo Rosser might have a little bit more brilliance if it's held up for one dash at them. And I think it's quite simple. The rest are either cast from the map or just not good enough, particularly if I Am Thunderstruck doesn't get a run. There's no point looking any further than them 3. One of them 3 will win. It's just a matter of which one gets the right luck.
So Bo Rosser gets a 3.5 kilo swing on Behemoth.
Who should have beaten Behemoth.
Yep. But Behemoth did SP 320 versus $12 there.
Yep. And the SP was wrong. So now we're a little bit closer to market, and it's just a complete moral.
Bo Rosser.
It's the right run. If it gets the runs when it needs to, it wins. More humble. I'm not looking too deep. I'm not trying to overthink this. They're the best 3 horses in the race.
So Behemoth has met Bo Rosser 3 times. It started favourite or shorter than Bo Rosser 3 times, and it's beaten home Bo Rosser 3 times.
Well, it didn't beat it home once. It didn't beat it home once in Adelaide when I backed Bo Rosser to beat it, but then it got a protest and overturned, overturned the result and got me.
Yeah.
I think I partially agree, but I reckon barrier 1 is a big concern. Late in the day, Caulfield, like shit happens at Caulfield, and not lots of times it's not good. This is Linda Meach, outstanding rider, but this is a Group 1 with, as we've mentioned repeatedly, a chaotic speed map. I think if you're betting at those 2, Behemoth is just the complete and utter moral verse hit at the prices. It's just fucking value. It's going to get a better run. It's got a much better jockey. Linda Meach, superstar. She's not Craig Williams, and he's got the ace on it. He can just sit on it and not let her out until he's ready. Well, I think he holds all the aces. The horse deserves to start shorter than Bo Rosser. I think it will. Buffalo River will be fascinating. They're often the big joints just seem to steam this thing late.
I was just going to mention this horse. This is the track and distance value in the race. It's capable of handling both slow and fast tempo. Has it had a
But
jump
what
out?
does Patrick Maloney do? I'm tipping goes slow, which is another reason, Curls, why I worry about Bo Rosser. See, like if Pat Maloney was sitting on Bo Rosser and Linda Meach was riding Buffalo River, I think Bo Rosser's going to have its back, and Linda's going to go nice and quick and get it done, and then Paddy Maloney can peel off, and if it's good enough, win. But if he's just holding it up, and there's like a 6-wide wall coming at Caulfield, it's tricky. Probably Beal sort of same boat as Bo Rosser, but I think it'll get a really nice run behind Behemoth. I thought of the outside of those sort of three, which I agree with, Curls, is Dice Rolls, the map horse that I think could run a big race. He is absolutely airborne, Nick Ryan. Absolutely airborne. I think this horse will settle 3 wide, maybe no cover, or 3 wide behind Groundswell or Streets Avalon. And if it gets a run, I Am Thunderstruck will be flashing, and if the track allows, winning.
Yeah, it's a tough race, isn't it? I think that's a good summation. No bet.
No suggested bets.
Okay. Let's jump to race 4 on the card, which is the Guineas Prelude for the Colts and Geldings. Only a Group 3. Only a Group 3, so don't get too excited, Dickens.
Yeah. I've got Military Expert leading Lightsaber, Brigantine, Athelnrick, and Alpine Edge sort of next line. Bifrost thereabouts. Cape Brighton, 3-4 back the fence. I think River Plate, give me a buzz, and Timson, which I don't know why, but it just sounds like, how would you say Timson? I feel like I'm being racist when I just say the name. Is it because of the sun there?
Timson, maybe?
Timson.
We'll await Matthew Hill to guide us through that.
Yeah.
Tim's on.
Tim's on. Yeah, Tim's
TB
on.
not calling Saturday.
I don't think so.
What a disgraceful decision.
Anyway, Timson is a horse that I'm very interested in, and I want to have $50 on at the $9. Here is why. Very, very progressive. Dan Yendall, I think, can get the back of Ollie or something similar here. I think it'll be 3 wide before you know it as they're entering the straight. And this is that sort of race, sort of size field at Caulfield where you can sort of be four wide and only 3 lengths off the leader turning, because they're just going to go slow. Not going to do a lot of business here. I reckon this is a nice progressive horse on the up versus a bunch of sort of half-exposed horses. I like race 4, number 8, Timson. We'll have $50 on, Peter, at the $9.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Night Raid at the Valley, this horse, coming out of some provincial monster figure for the provincial. It's come from Casterton, won on debut. It's just, this could be anything. It's exciting, but the market will crush it.
Splits its run, it'll crush.
Yeah.
It's our last 200 split. It's like horses that have, if you open up your puntingform.com.au and look at its last 200 all benchmark figure, that's like a bivouac sort of number. Like big horses run that figure.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a ridiculous stroll early. It went even for the class. It was a maiden at Casterton, but it still wasn't stupidly slow. It's a huge, huge number.
What price did you send to the subs?
14 or 15, I think.
I've just got up here 12. 12 it was.
12.
So I'm
Sorry.
a bit shitty about that. I didn't actually bet it, and now I'm just angry.
You
Anyway,
like it?
I do like it.
Jeez, I was surprised that there's been
Great minds.
Cue the promo. How is there support for the toppy here, $5 into $4.40? I went through the field looking for a scratching to justify why someone would take $5 about this horse.
Probably Willow on. I don't know. I was going to ask you the same thing. I can't. Yeah.
How does Edmonds go in Victoria?
He can set one up.
The Harrovian ran 5th down there in the All-Star Mile when I said it should have been at the Toowoomba Guineas or something, remember?
And had that Larocque.
Remember Trent? I said that Trent messaged me and sprayed me for potting his horse?
Hello, the Trent.
G'day, Trent. He'll be watching this because you'll want to know what I say about this. This has got none. This will be last defence. It's going
to knock us off now, this guy.
Yeah, look, I'm surprised. Like, Star Tontes was inside it, got up inside it, pushed it out of the way and ran past it the other day. Star Tontes is like a pony and just give it wind burn. Star Tontes has won since, won again last Saturday. You're talking like restricted races, 3-year-old races in Queensland in the off season. Look, this horse obviously had a good 2-year-old, reasonably good 2-year-old season. It ran second in the Magic Millions. He's a nice, big, strong horse. So there's, I'd anticipate that what he did as a 2-year-old, he'd certainly be able to improve at 3 just because of the size of him, growing into his.
Can't win, you say.
But I'm just going to be last the fence, and it just doesn't like.
What did you make of the number 4 Ollie Sticks, the Exceed and Excel Colt, Athelric? It was pretty good last start. I reckon it was a pretty good race there at Moonee Valley. I just don't know where it's going to get to in the run. But I thought it was the other one outside of Tim Sun that was like a really nice pricey. If you like it, back it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I suppose Tim Sun and Alpine Edge could possibly be like last and second last in run, could they, from the gates?
Yeah, but I think, like you said, last offence, I'd rather be like last one off.
Yeah,
I reckon Dean can get the back of Ollie, and I think this Athelric's going to run a race too. So Ollie's drawn 10. I think Dean will just tow him behind Damien and just let Damien tell him when we're going. Oh, not yet. Okay, I'll wait, and then go, and if we're good enough, run over top of him. And at the price, like $12, it's a bet to nothing. It could absolutely hemorrhage this thing.
Yeah,
big figures.
Have to find out.
$50 at $9 now. 50 at 9. Tim Sun.
Okay.
I'll be blocking Trent's number if this lobs. This Alpine.
Yeah, we'll get him on the show.
He can call it the bad beat hotline. For him, it would be the good beat hotline.
Yeah, Trent, don't call Shane. Call the bad beat hotline. Number we'll have it at the end of the show. I don't know off the top of my head.
And then
I'll text him. I'll text him the number.
And then he'll block you. All right, Caulfield Race 6, the benchmark 90 handicap over 1,400 metres for mares. Anavisto favourite $2.60. Ecumenical $7. Aidenfield $7.50. Snickerdoodle Dandy, former Western Bester, $9. So is good and proper. Dickens, Anavisto.
Does anyone else want to say anything before I just declare this thing?
No.
No, I've got nothing to say.
I think that Anavisto is the bet of the month.
Wow.
I think it's an absolute fucking moral. It'll start $2. It should have won second up last prep at Flemington. Ollie got it wrong and it was a car crash. It's a track and trip horse. It's a track horse. It's a distance horse. It's got an SP profile over everything here. It maps to get the gun run. It gets a little gear change after laying in, but gets John Allen sticking with it, who would have learnt how to ride it a little bit better, and he's a nice, strong, two-handed rider. I think this thing's a fucking certainty.
Full stop?
Yeah, bet until it hurts. When the gates open, if your bumhole doesn't quiver a little bit and your heart doesn't skip a beat, you haven't had enough on. It'll start closer to $2 than $2.60. Just keep betting. It's going to get it's got the speed to sit wherever it wants to, wherever he needs to. In run, he can put it there, and it's not drawn too inside for John Allen. I hate John Allen inside draws. I love him just drawn out, and he can just get into his gears. I think this is a great bet.
Sounds like it's an Alpine Edge all up Anavisto to me.
And I'll spew it. Aidenfield, like, he's going to sit inside it, I reckon. Just hasn't come up.
Fuck, it was a big figure last time, wasn't it? This thing.
Well, the other thing
we think Taras a proper horse.
The horse that knocked it off last start won a Group 2 last week. This is a fucking benchmark 90. Like, it's just... Every box I can think of, it ticks it. I wish I went up $4 because it is like a nice race. But
all right, thanks for joining us, guys. We're off to bet now. Catch you later. Bye.
So just for the preview show, we're going to have the 50 on Tim Sun at $9 in race 4. We're going to have 200 on the number 3 Anavisto in race number 6. That's 200 race 6, number 3 Anavisto at the $2.60 with whoever.
We got time for a quick Q&A. or Q&A, as it's pronounced.
Well, why don't you two just quickly describe what you expect to happen at your respective states on the weekend, you winners, you fucking non-stop winning machines. Peter, Belmont yesterday, you zigged and you zagged. You said no. I said, Peter, give me something to bet on. And you said no. You said no, it's windy as fuck. I'm going to wait. I'm going to watch. I'm going to learn. You did that. You fired 2 beautiful bullets, race 5 and maybe race 8.
Yeah.
I, with that information, because I was pressing him to bet, I double pressed race 5, which I wouldn't normally do, but I did. So thank you. What do we anticipate happens on Saturday at Belmont?
Rail 6 metres is typically one of the fairest positions there at Belmont, but the last 4 meetings have had some level of bias to them. I won't get too carried away and say they're all rails bias, because one of them was actually, as bizarre as this sounds, it was actually one-off disadvantaged, heavily disadvantaged, which makes it look rails bias, but it actually wasn't, because the 3 and 4 wide channel was actually pretty good. A little tricky, that. A little tricky. How would you know? How would you know until you're out there? It's been a bit of rain around today, a bit of rain around yesterday. We've only got 2 weeks before Kalgoorlie, and then we're back at Ascot.
One of the things just before we leave Perth, one of the most enjoyable aspects of yesterday's wagering was when we were on, there was a horse of W Pike that was $2 into $1.70, like completely relentless, off the mat, late money. And Pistols just tossed up this declaration at this thing with 4 minutes to the jump at $6.50. Load into this, boys. Piston!
And hemorrhaged.
Pike traded like $1.10 in run outside the leader, and Jet Stanley just with the
Coffin.
3 off.
This was the coffin, wasn't it?
Poke up the cutaway, yeah.
Yeah, the
fucking
cutaway.
never getting beat. It was never, ever getting beat.
That was glorious. He's got the most
Suck
golf
shit,
tones.
Foggy.
I think that used to be a former Melbourne horse, Double Jeopardy.
I don't know.
Actually, I listened to the pre-race,
Yeah.
Yeah, I did listen to the pre-race. You did say the horse come from Victoria with a few little issues.
Righto. So Saturday, Shane, you've got
Bit
what?
like you, Peter. Come over to WA from Melbourne with a few little issues.
A few.
Oh.
It's got some massive issues. What's her name again? Anyway, Shane, where are you betting on Saturday, mate?
Yeah,
Gold Coast and Dalby?
How good's this, right? Mrs. Curley's away for 3 or 4 days with my daughter.
Oh, of course.
I'm going to absolutely obliterate myself this weekend, I reckon. So Saturday's really good. We've only got the metropolitan meetings at the Gold Coast. Now, the interesting thing about the programming and everything else is Queensland's best stable, Tony Gollan, has got a lot of nice horses that are going Sydney, Melbourne, and stakes races, and he's got to kick them off. And this meeting's the meeting to kick them off. So he's got some really nice horses, but running against each other. So we're seeing some races with a bit of depth from the same stable, unfortunately, and horses that are very hard to split. So, I don't anticipate, we'll be seeing we'll get seeing some good horses that are going to be short odds and likely winning, but I don't really need to get involved. We own a Smart One's a nice horse that's won $1 million in a row for David Van Dyke, and it's $1.40. It probably wins and then goes to Sydney. There's a few of those sort of setups. Costa's got a couple. Gollan's got a few. Now, I don't know whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, but there's only one other meeting in Queensland, in southeast Queensland, and that's at Dalby on Saturday Arvo. So, it hasn't rained out here for a bit, so it'll be like bitumen, hard, bone-rattling tracks. So it's going to be a very difficult wagering day. It is going to be very difficult.
We'll find a way. You always do. You've been winning since you got here.
Yeah, so anyway, so that's Saturday, and then next week's fully loaded. We've got meetings fucking everywhere, there's 5 or 6 meetings that we'll be betting into next week. So, don't despair if we don't have a million bet Saturday. We'll have $1.5 million next week.
And before we go, the mailbag's bad beat hotline 0452 036 25. Fuck, I fucked that up. The mailbag's bad beat hotline 0452 036 245.
Thanks for that.
Simo and your mates, I want to turn that thing on Sunday afternoon and hear a lot of dribble and yarn from you blokes.
I might just get on, make a few calls anyway. the local grand final Sunday, so I'll be pretty handy. Ringing the hotline after that.
There'll be no one to film you and Junior just taking turns at Huggle on the porcelain on Sunday morning either.
I hope Mrs. Kelly doesn't watch this before she heads off.
She wouldn't watch any of this, Emma.
No way. She didn't even watch me on .com. There's Eagle Farm tomorrow. I forgot about that. Eagle Farm tomorrow in Queensland.
Beautiful. Eagle Farm, Geelong. Where are you betting tomorrow? Peter?
Nowhere. Maybe Singapore. No, that's a joke.
Oh, right.
That's a joke.
All right, well...
He wasn't joking.
He's not joking.
Is it
He's
Toyota Kaiba? Is that a place? One of the Japan joints. Yeah. Yarmouth. Whoa.
Oh.
Righto. Why don't you enjoy your weekend? Bet until it hurts responsibly. And we'll see you on Monday for the deep dive. Happy birthday, Simo. Buy some merch and ring the hotline. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.